So we're going to talk about dividing fractions, which is just a little bit more complicated than multiplying. There's one step, and then it's exactly the same as multiplying. So first thing is we have to find the reciprocal. Do you remember what that means? That means when you flip your fraction. So we flip it over. So our numerator turns in to our denominator. And vice versa, our denominator turns into our numerator. Okay, and we'll see. So find the reciprocal of 4/9. That's, again, when we just flip it. It becomes, we flip it, and it becomes 9/4. So we just take it and flip it over. Okay, so what do you think 1/2 becomes if we flip it? If we flip it, if our numerator becomes our denominator, denominator becomes numerator, becomes 2/1, which simplifies to 2, right? And there's an acronym. Well, here, let's go over the steps first, okay? So, steps to dividing fractions. You have to find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we don't find it of the first one, we find it of the second fraction. And then you multiply the original, and I'm spelling issues today, of the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. And that'll make sense when we see it, okay? And then once you have that, you flip it over, now you just multiply like normal. So you multiply the numerators, you multiply denominators, and then as always, our last step is to simplify. Remember, you're going to want to check for cross products in here. So what this is saying, there's an acronym to remember these steps. It's called keep, sorry, I wanted it in black. Okay. Keep, change, flip is what we say. So KCF, kind of like KFC, okay, but KCF, keep, change, flip. We keep the first fraction, change division and multiplication, and flip the second one. Find the reciprocal. Okay, so we're going to, actually, I think I'm going to start with example 2 first. I'm going to start with example 2, and then we'll backtrack to example 1. Okay, so we want to keep, change, flip. So we want to keep the original one. We want to keep the original one, change this, and flip this. Okay, so we keep 4/7. We change division to multiplication, and we flip this fraction around. So it's going to become 20/14, and we don't lose that negative sign. Okay, and now we want to figure out, do we have cross product? Okay, because we want to always simplify first. Otherwise, we're going to have big numbers. So we're going to simplify 4 and 14 by 2. And then we have numbers that are a little bit more manageable, right? So now we have 2 times 20, which is 40. And now we have 7 times 7, which is 49. And then we have a positive times a negative. So our answer should be negative. So the only thing that's different is that we need to flip that reciprocal. Otherwise, division just becomes multiplication, okay? Which you're experts in. So let's go back to example 1. Okay. Looking at this, we first have to make this 1 into 1/1, right? So we keep this, change, flip, keep, change, flip. Change the multiplication, flip to 2/1. Do we have any cross products? No. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2/1, we know, simplifies to 2. Okay, so keep, change, flip. Go into example 3. Keep, change, flip. Keep the first one, change the multiplication. Flip this. Before we flip it, remember it's 2 over 1. Okay, so we keep the first one. We keep 6 over 4. Change division to multiplication. We flip this -2 to become a -1/2. And we forgot the negative. And now we check for cross products. Do we have any? Hopefully you're saying yes. 6 and 2 are divisible by 2. And now we do 3 times 1. 4 times 1. And a negative times a negative gives us a positive, so then that's our answer. Okay. So hopefully this feels the same. All you have to do is keep, change, flip, okay? I want you to try example 4, and I'll walk you through that step by step. So first start by doing keep, change, flip. So with keep, change, flip, we keep the 3 7s, change to multiplication, flip the 3 over 10 to a 10 over 3. Now we're going to check for any cross products we have. So check for those. We have our 3 and 3 are both divisible by 3, so and they both become 1. Now, again, we just multiply straight across. So do that, multiply straight across. You should have gotten 10 times 1, which is 10, 7 times 1, which is 7. And now we have to simplify that. How many times does 7 go into 10? How many are left? Should have gotten 1 and 3 7ths. 1 and 3 7ths. Okay. Now I want you to try example 5 and 6 all on your own. Okay, 5 and 6, and we'll go over them in a sec. All right. So hopefully you flipped the first, this 4 over 6 to 6 over 4. You found your cross products, which made it 2 over 2, which anything divided by itself is just 1. So it became -1. Then example 6, you had to know that it became 8 over 1. And then there were no cross products, so you just had to multiply and then simplify. So 10 and 2/3. All right, so make sure you ask questions in class. Otherwise, see you then.